occasion to welcome you, ma'am.
Thank
Next,
you.
Dr. Gio Jose Fernandez, Dean, Albert Institute of Management, has always been a pillar of support and motivation for us. I welcome you, sir. Our placement coordinators, Dr. Manchu Das and Dr. Jidin Benedict, always extend their immense support. I welcome you both to this talk series. Once again, I
Thank
welcome
you.
you all to this enriching learning session. Have a nice day. Thank you.
Thank you, Jasna. May I now request Ms. Janisha Anthony to introduce our speaker for the day, Shivapriya Balagopal, Head of New Product Development, R&D Division, Eastern Country.
Ms. Shivapriya Balagopal is Head of New Product Development R&D Division at Eastern Condiments Private Limited. Shivapriya is currently the chairwoman of CII IWN Kerala region and has also held office as a vice chair in 2017-19. Convener Learning and Development during the year 2015-16. She holds a postgraduate degree in Food Science and Nutrition from Avinash Lingam Deemed University, Coimbatore, and a bachelor's degree in Nutrition and Dietetics from Anna Adarsh College for Women, Chennai. She is a state rank holder from the University of Madras in the branch of Nutrition, Food Service, Management and Dietetics. As a food scientist and nutritionist by profession, Shivapriya holds a rich experience of over 18 years in the field of product development R&D in food industry. Her portfolio at Eastern involves diversifying the company's range of products into spice and other food categories. She has traveled extensively in India and across the globe in understanding the changing consumer palate. She spearheads the M.E. Meeran Innovation Center at Eastern, which is a center dedicated to the field of research and food analytical testing. She has published 3 research papers. Consumer safety, health and nutrition are the matters so close to her. She has been actively involved in Eastern's campaigns on women empowerment such as Bhumika and Eastern Fast Age. She has also worked as a corporate trainer on soft skills and has trained several corporate, government sector and educational institutions on corporate etiquette, time management, stress management, work-life balance and emotional intelligence. She is an artist in her spare time and also enjoys reading and traveling. Over to you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Am I audible? Yeah. Okay. Thank you so much for the introduction.
Yes, ma'am.
And I thank the Albert Institute of Management for giving us this opportunity to host the Campus to Career initiative, which is an initiative of the Indian Women Network, CII, Southern Region Initiative. And we are very happy to kickstart this with St. Albert's being the first institution. I have the introduction of myself has already been given, so I'm not going to take much time in saying who I am. But let's get on with the session. I think this Campus to Career modules are usually half-day sessions, but since we are now operating on virtual mode, we've concised them into 2-hour sessions. So without taking any more time, I'll get on with the session today, which is going to be goal setting and emotional intelligence. Just to give you a preview of why we are doing this Campus to Career initiative, it is a matter that is very close to the Indian Women Network core objective, because many times, as when employers face a big challenge of freshers entering into the workspace, that they are still not shed their college skin. They're still a little, the student life is still in them, and they take time in adjusting to the corporate environment and learning and learning in the professional setting. They take a little time. So most often employers and the recruitment teams in the organizations face this challenge, and we thought we will initiate this program which will be covering almost a 360-degree, angle of what all is needed for a person, for a fresher when they're entering new into the corporate space. So it starts with goal setting, it starts with facing interviews, we talk about emotional intelligence, personal branding, and whole lot of things, which will almost cover a 360-degree approach. What would you need when you first enter the corporate space? So that's the background of the program. And we are running this across various states in the southern region in India. And in Kerala, we're running this in 4 institutions in Cochin. So let me get on with today's session of goal setting. Is my screen visible? Is the screen visible?
Not yet, ma'am.
Okay. Is it now? Okay, just hold on.
No, ma'am, we don't see that.
It's visible now?
Students, can you see it? I'm not able to
Yes,
see it.
ma'am. Yes.
Okay, fine. It's okay.
Everyone is able to see? Okay, all right. So yes, let me start with the session of goal setting. I want to just begin with first with a question of, what is success? And I would like to ask a few responses from the students on what they think is the meaning of success to them. So you can, some of you can come on audio, or you could put it on the chat box, whatever it is. I'd like to take a few responses from the students on what they think is success, or what success means to them. Hello?
Students, please do engage, talk to ma'am and get your doubts clarified. Yeah, please.
Okay, I can see a few responses. So success means to accomplish a goal, achieving your goals, okay, accomplishment of an aim. All right, any other responses? Living a life you can be proud of, okay, very nice. Anything else? Fulfillment of a goal, okay. Any other suggestions from the, any other meaning to success from the group? Gives you happiness, all right. Something that gives you happiness. Success means an achievement or attainment of happiness, all right. Any more responses? Overcoming bad outcomes or hardships, obstacles, all right. Achieving the goals that matter the most, good. All right. So, yeah, I think I'll go on. Success means a lot of things to a lot of people. I mean, it means different things to different people, right? Some of you, it may be like some of you had said, achieving of a goal or a purpose. Some of you spoke about happiness, a fulfillment in life, happy, safe, healthy life, ability to reach your goals. For some, it may be the financial, attainment of wealth. And probably in today's environment, with the backdrop of the pandemic, many of us might be feeling, oh, to be having a happy and a safe and a healthy life is, successful today. So it means different things to different people, and each one has their own viewpoint of success. It can be financial, it can be spiritual, it can be physical, or it can be in the area of mental. It can be all these different areas. And the aspiration to success actually is very, very important in life. Even though we have these different viewpoints on success, on the areas of where we want to have success in, the aspiration to reach success or to be successful is very, very critical and important in life. Right? I saw this very nice, good definition of success, which says that it is the gradual realization of a worthy goal. We have to have a purposeful, meaningful desire or passion in life, and the fulfillment or the evolution of that is ultimately what success is all about. So I think that is the perfect definition of the word success. It is the gradual realization of a worthy goal. Now, to the next question, I mean, is success easy? And is success, is there a one-step solution to success? What works, what works for one person is probably not going to work for the other person. And there is no one book, one rule book of success which is going to work for everybody. It is going to change with individuals. It is going to change with the areas of work that we are in. It is going to change with the situation or the environment that we are in. So it is not easy for sure. And it is not a one-stop solution or a one rule book, which is going to have all the secrets and you are reading it and, but with this one session of goal setting and success that we are going to evolve successful. No, it takes a lot of hard work. There's going to be a lot of learning to do. And one thing is the question, before we go on to how we achieve success, it's very, very important to ask ourselves this question: do we want to be successful? If the answer is no, then we are in trouble. But if the answer is yes, if we have the desire, like I said, the aspiration to be successful, which is very, very important in life, if we have that, then we need to understand how success works, and what are the recipes for success, or what are the things that we need to do in order to achieve success in our lives. I move on to this slide, which shows examples. All of you must be familiar with who these people are. They are not names you don't know and people that you're not familiar. In school and in college, you must have heard a lot of inspiring stories about these persons, right? About Henry Ford, he first invented the quadricycle, Thomas Edison, Graham Bell, and Steve Jobs. They are stories of inspiration of people who have not given up on their dream, or who started with a dream. And I think that is the catalyst or precursor to success. It always starts with having a dream. And like our later President, Dr. APJ Kalam has said, dream, dream, dream. Dreams transform into thoughts, and thoughts eventually result into action. Another lovely quote of his is, dream is not that something that you see when you are sleeping, but it is something that does not allow you to sleep. It is something that is burning inside you. It is the burning desire to be and to do. It's keeping you awake and not letting you settle down until you reach that or achieve that dream, right? So that is the common thread that you will find amongst all successful people. Though their strategies to achieve success are different, though their pathways to achieve success are different, one common thread that runs through all successful people, whichever area they are or whichever sphere they are in life, is that they all started with a dream, and they had that burning desire in them to make that dream into a reality. Okay, and I just maybe I know that all of you must have heard stories about this, but then I will let me just quote an example of Henry Ford. He was actually a engineer, and he worked for a light company, the Edison Illuminating Co. He was just he was a chief engineer in the main plant, and he was very fascinated by the concept of the horse carriage. He wanted to replace the horse carriage being run by a gasoline engine. That was his dream project. He said, I want to do away with horse carriages, and I want to have them invent something that will run on a gasoline engine. And he's worked on flexible schedules in his factory. He used to work on flexible hours so that he could do his regular job, and in the other part of the day he could focus on this dream project of his. And he went down and setting this quadricycle, and at that time it ran at a speed of 10 meters per hour and 20 meters per hour. You can imagine the speed of it at that time. And the carriage had a home doorbell as a button, for a horn. And he drove it around a couple of grounds alongside a river. And the project turned out to be successful. So a person with that dream, setting out and making it a reality, and then going on to build this largest automobile industry, is the story of how this dream fueled him into becoming successful. Now, dreams are there, but it's not enough if you just have the dream in your mind, right? It's not enough if you just have the dream in your head or in paper. It's not going to happen by just sitting on the couch or lying in bed looking out of the window. It's not going to evolve like that. Dreams are definitely not going to be born out of laziness or complacence, being laid and set back, and without ambition and indifference. This is the next thing that you will see, which is common, or which is the ground framework of people who are successful, that they were very hardworking, they were persevering, they had tremendous ambition and drive to make their dreams a reality and to become successful and to make their goals turn out into purposeful, meaningful goals for them. And here again, we have stories of Mark Zuckerberg. There are just a few examples that I've put up. Mark Zuckerberg, we have Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw, and we have Indra Nooyi. And all of you know the story of Mark Zuckerberg. He was a college student at Harvard, and this whole dream project, this whole social media network that we are all hooked on now, was just created in a hostel dorm room, dormitory room. And he started this inside college. And once he reached a database of 2 billion users, within a very short time of him setting it up, quit, and he became a very successful entrepreneur himself, a billionaire himself. And his story is also something that, his drive or his interest for innovation started very, very early. Right from the age of 12, he was very interested in computers. And at the age of 12, he has set up a application system for his father, who worked in a dental clinic. His passion was very instilled and deep-rooted right there, which was what kept him driving with ambition throughout his life. Similarly, we have Kiran Mazumdar-Shaw. All of you are familiar with who she is. One of India's well-known entrepreneurs, and she is a billionaire on the Forbes list in the world. She's probably I think she's the 81st in the ranking in the wealthiest persons in the world in the Forbes list. And all of you know her story as well. She started out with a very humble beginning and did her zoology, and then went on to pursuing her master's in brewery because her father was working in the breweries. And she went and studied this post-graduation in, I think, Australia, came back and found that there were not many takers, because at that time, the time that she graduated, there were hardly any women in this profession of breweries, and nobody to a firm called the Biocon Biochemicals, which is an Irish company, and she started out as a consultant there. Seeing her drive and her ambition, seeing her passion in the subject and her drive and her enthusiasm and ambition, they've decided to partner with her and created this Biocon venture in India. And her initial years are not easy. Her initial years are definitely not easy. They were having a lot of struggle, a lot of years of struggle. And I think they also started their setup at the shed in their house, you know, the back, the shed of their house. Finally, the breakthrough came when she developed a medicine for reducing cholesterol, which was approved by the FDA, and that skyrocketed their market value, and thereon she succeeded into becoming a very successful, rich entrepreneur. Similarly, Indra Nooyi, and I want to quote one quote of hers, which speaks about this, this title that we've written. It is, dreams are not born out of laziness and lack of ambition and indifference. It's not going to work. These things are not going to evolve or, happen if we are going to be lazy and indifferent. I like to read a quote which she has said. Like she says, even as a child, she was never still. She was always a rebel and full of life. And she says, every morning, you've got to wake up with a healthy fear that the world is changing. And with a conviction that, to win, you have to have the conviction to win. And you have to change faster and be more agile than anyone else. That was her secret mantra. And that is how she has been so successful in the PepsiCo company, contributing 23 years of her service there, working 12 years as the CEO of the company and taking PepsiCo to great heights under her tenure as a CEO. So the path to success is like I said, it starts with a dream. The dream has to come with a lot of zest and ambition and drive. And the path to success is definitely not linear. Always when we hear success stories or when we see people who are successful, we just think it was from point A, B, there was just a straight line. They jumped from here to a height. No, not at all. The path to success is never linear. Nobody talks about, or we don't concentrate on the setbacks or the obstacles, or we don't want to talk about those things. Especially, I feel the generation today, all of us want things instant, we want instant gratification, instant likes, instant food. That's what we are always looking for. But the recipe to success is always going to be not an instant one. It's going to be with a lot of lessons in them. There are going to be hurdles, there are going to be obstacles. And the path to success is going to be a long road and a journey. Now, I also recall a very interesting quote from an author of a book that I personally am very fond of, this author and the book, and I feel all students or all of you must have a chance to read this book. It is The Last Lecture by Randy Pausch, and it's a very interesting book. It talks about time management and stress management. That is the core aspects. But he says a quote that goes like, the brick walls are there for a reason. All of us, when we set out to do something, there's a block or there's a hurdle and there's a brick wall, and we're so scared by it. We feel so daunted by that, and we want to quit or we want to go back. Now, he says the brick walls are there for a reason. They tell you how bad you want something. If you really have that desire and that burning passion in you, you will find ways to overcome that brick wall. You will find ways to overcome those challenges. Now, another interesting thing is, many of us have heard this saying that goes, quitters never win, winners never quit. Now, this saying is not 100% true. It's not that winners never quit. I go on to this slide that says, quitting actually is a strategy to success. And it's very, very important for us to know what to quit and what not to quit, okay? We can quit on the wrong stuff. All the distractions, the negative self-talk, all those things that are hindering you from achieving your dream, those are the things that we can quit on. But you have to stick with grit, you have to stick with tenacity, tightness on the right stuff. And you've got to have, this comes actually with, this is a very, what I would say is a very key skill of a person who has been successful in life. He has known what not to do, where to put in his effort 100%, and where on what are the frivolous or the trivial things that he can avoid, or which are eating his time away, or which are affecting him into achieving his goals and dreams. So having the guts to know to do one or the other is very, very important. Quitting is the right strategy sometimes, as you cannot have success with many distractions. No, you can't be an expert in everything. You can't have your foot in everything if you want to succeed and be the best in the world. You've got to focus on one and remove the things that are hindering you, remove the things that are distracting you, remove the things that are deterring you from your growth. And that is a skill that is talked about in this principle called the DIP principle. It comes in a book. The author is Seth Godin, who speaks about, it is a 76-page book which talks about the path to success. And like I told you before, many times all of us only hear the final, the final stories, the reaching the lap with the prize in the hand, with the trophy in the hand. But we don't know about the setbacks or what happened, what was the journey to get that trophy. None of us know that. So this book, The Dip, it talks about these things. It talks about when you have your dream, that there will be a slow slog between starting, and mastery. There will be a curve. That dip is going to be there. But it is also very important for us to know how long to stay in that dip. If there's something you're there in a stagnant for a long time, you're putting in a lot of your effort and it's not giving you the results, you should know when to strategically quit. So successful people, these are the takeaways from the book are, knowing when to quit and when to stick to something that helps you make wiser decisions. Successful people know the art of quitting strategically. They know that, they've been here, they've put a lot of effort, it's not working, and this is the right time for me to quit and focus on something more important or more where I'm getting my results. And they make this very conscious decisions. It is based on discretion. It is based on a thinking process. It is not something that they do reactively. Things that we do out of panic, or maybe if you are quitting because of fear, those are things that are reactive quitting, which is not good. You should know the art of strategically quitting with a conscious decision making, rather than quitting reactively. Another takeaway from the book is, if it is worth doing, if you have a dream and if it's a goal that is worth doing, you should realize, like I told earlier, don't think that success is instant and it's just going to come at the snip of the hand, or a switch of a button. It's not going to be like that. If it's worth doing, you must know that there will be a dip. And anything new always feels magical. And this is not only with respect to work. It's respect to even our personal lives, right? It's respect to relations. It's respect to the things that we do, everything around us. You should realize that anything new always feels magical at the first time, right? The first initial stages are always rosy and nice and wonderful. But you should know that there is a long haul. There will be a dip, and then you should master the dip and keep going stronger and steadier and faster. The DIP book also talks, another takeaway from the book is to be the best in the world. I think we'll go on, yeah. So the 3 lessons that you need to learn towards success are, whatever your goal is, you need to confront a dip to succeed. The rewards for being first are huge and even unexpected. Aim for them. Like I mentioned, being the best always has its value. And if you want to be a winner in the long run, you'll have to master the art of smart quitting, strategic quitting, conscious quitting. Know what are the things that are not helping you in your life. Quitting distractions, quitting negative talk. Those are the things that are hindering you from achieving your goal. Those are the things that you should quit on and focus on the ones that are going to help you propel forward. Lesson 1. Whatever your goal is, you need to confront a dip to succeed. Like I mentioned, accept that there will be a small slog in your pathway to success. Show perseverance to come out of the dip. Show that you find strategies and ways to come up. You're applying your rationale and thinking and hard work to come out of that dip. And very, very important is to be the best, or to excel, or to become on that top layer of the firsts. Very, very important is specializing in your area. If you're a student of management, specialize on that area. You should be the best in management. If you're a student of, I saw some students in fisheries in the group that had entered. If that is your area, try to become the best in that particular area. Don't keep the circle very wide where, there are so many people. Try to specialize in a very core area so that you become best in that particular field. Now, this person, all of you know, Anant Ambani, he is an example of showing that, who has applied the perseverance in the DIP principle. At a stockholder meeting of Reliance, he was overweight and he was obese, and somebody from the audience stood up to him and said, how do you think we can invest in your stock or stake of your company if the owner itself is so unhealthy? If he's so unhealthy, how do you expect us to invest in the stake of your company? And that set him thinking, oh my God, this is terrible. Really, it hit a bone in his body. And he decided that he will decide to take on this challenge of losing weight. And it was a very, a very hardcore regime. He didn't want to do any medical procedure, and he wanted to do in a safe way under a guided trainer. And he had a very strict regime, a daily exercise regime of a 21-kilometer walk, followed by yoga, weight training, functional training, high-intensity cardio exercises, zero sugar and a low-carb diet. That was his regime. And he was, within 1 year, he lost about, I think, 108 kilos is what I said. He lost in 1 year. He was disciplined, persistent, and determined to become fit. Even though he had, issues, medical conditions of asthma, even though he had that, which made it even more difficult for him to lose weight. Applying that perseverance and grit in the time of dip was an example that Anant Ambani had displayed. Like I told you earlier, if you want to be the best, you have to master the art of specializing in your field. Be the expert in your area. And these are some of the examples all of you know of these famous sports personalities who've created the niche for themselves. They have excelled in their particular fields. P.V. Sindhu, Sachin Tendulkar, Virat Kohli, Geeta Phogat, all of them have been experts. And similarly, these companies also, Amazon, Unilever, Coca-Cola, Ford and Microsoft have been the companies that have withstand the dips, dip and have emerged successfully. The lesson 2 is all of us know, I know being the best is so much better than being good. Now, when we are looking for a movie to watch, what are we doing? We're Googling and seeing what is the rating, what is the IMDb, is it the rating for movies? So there we're looking at that. What is the rating given? When people are hiring students, we're looking at the scores, right? We're looking at which are the top scores. People are always looking for, when we are looking for hiring or we're looking for ratings, we're not looking at the average ratings. Oh, this is having on a scale of 10, it is having 5 to 4. So I'll select this. That never happens, right? We're always looking at the top scores. So being the best is very, very important. One thing that you should remember is when you are in that zone of best, the crowd or the competition is much lesser. In the area of average, there are a lot of people. But in the area of excellence and best, there is no crowd. The crowd is much lesser, and it's easier for you to shine, emerge successfully. So lesson 2 is achieve or strive to be the best than average or being good enough. Why people fail to be best is that they have no time. They're always cribbing that they don't have time, And that is actually a very, very poor excuse. No time, no interest, fear. Many times we don't want to achieve tasks or achieve goals because we are scared of the outcomes. Before we even try, we are scared of what the outcome is going to be. We're not serious, short-term focus, and wrong choices, making the wrong choices. And these are some of the reasons why people fail to be the best. Lesson 3 is identifying the right moment to quit is very, very crucial in a life. Like I mentioned earlier, strategic quitting. You're taking conscious, you're using discretion, you're using judgment on when to quit and what to quit. You're not doing something out of fear, you're not doing something out of panic, you're not doing something where you're trying to influence somebody. So identifying the right moment to quit is very essential for your success in life. These are some of the people who have fought the dip. The story of King Bruce, we've heard it a lot in our school days, of how, the act of perseverance being taught by a spider creating a web. We have Charlie Chaplin, Captain Sanders of KFC is a perfect example, actually, of a person who has had a lot of adversity in his life, with his father, losing his father at the age of 5, I think he has lost, he quit school at 16, he lost 4 jobs when he was 17, he joined the army. And when did he set out his business? Any idea when he set out his business? It was at the age of 65 that he retired. And when he felt like a failure, almost on the verge of committing suicide, he then, instead of how this whole process of setting up a business started was, instead of writing a will at that time, he started writing a document which says, what are the things that I will do to accomplish my dream? And when he started writing them, he realized that, okay, let me start. I have this recipe for a chicken fry. And he made that, and he went to and did door-to-door sales, and then started the firm of KFC with a initial capital investment of $87, and it went on to become one of a largest food chains in US and across the globe. This happened when he was in the age of, between his age of 60 to 80 is when this transition has happened. And there are other examples of, Helen Keller, Beethoven, Rani Lakshmibai, Narayana Murthy, Mahatma Gandhi, all of them who have faced adversities and strives, but have gone ahead, fought the dip with perseverance, who have been specialized in their fields of whatever they do and emerge successfully. So I come back to where we started. Our thoughts becomes our dream. The greatest achievement was first and for a time but a dream. But it is a world filled with opportunity, and a burning desire to be and to do is the starting point of being successful. Now, today, this lockdown, we think, things are so unprecedented, right? We don't know what is going to happen. Depression is teaching people a lot of things. It is teaching people humility. It is teaching people tolerance. It is teaching people open-mindedness. It is teaching people learning, upskilling. This lockdown is teaching a lot of things. So understand yourself. Your desire will outwit Mother Nature. Don't let the current situation, stop you. Many of you, especially at your stage of life, students in your stage of life, don't think that it is a crossroad where it is the end. Use this opportunity. I would say there's a lot of good things that are happening with this backdrop of the pandemic, though there are sad things happening as well, but there is a lot of good that is happening, a lot of learning that is happening, a lot of change that is happening for the better. So let it not stop you. Don't think that, what is the point of me having a dream? Nothing like that. Arise, awake, and stop not until your goal is reached. So we spoke about having a dream. We spoke about the importance of success. Now, for all this to happen, you need to set your goals. Now, again, here I would like to take some questions from the audience. If everyone's there with me, I'd like to take we have this interaction when we are doing this live, but I'd like to get a few responses from the students. Let's say a situation that we are planning a journey, all of us, this group here, we are doing a road trip to, let's say, Rishikesh. Okay, we want to go on a camp on the hillside, and we are planning a road trip to Rishikesh. So what are the things that we would do in case we are doing this? I want a few responses, and I would really appreciate if you all come on video and I would hear your answers and see your face. Is Manju ma'am going to be the first to tell me the answer? If we are planning a trip to Rishikesh, from all of us, this group here of 41 people, we're doing a road trip. And so, okay, I got one: systematic planning. Okay. Am I audible now? I'm seeing some messages that I'm not audible. Am I audible now?
There is only one complaint from one student that it's not audible, but the rest are saying it's okay. Maybe because of her mic or something problem.
All right. Okay.
Otherwise,
Yeah.
for me, it's pretty good. I can hear you.
Okay.
No props at all.
Okay. So yeah, some responses can we take? We are planning a trip to Rishikesh by road, all of us. I saw systematic planning. Anything else? Some of you, please come on audio at least. If you're not on video, at least give me a response through audio. How about the students who gave my introduction? Safety precautions, okay. So we're going, remember, we're going to Rishikesh. We're going to Rishikesh and we're going by road. So what are you going to do? What are we going to do?
I'm going to check the weather condition. What are the permission I required to that?
Okay.
Where should I stay at the hotels and all?
Very
We'll
good.
get
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
And
So we're going from Cochin to Rishikesh. Anything else you want to know?
and which all the path I could choose.
Exactly. Your
Right.
route, your map. Yeah, right. You look for a map, a route, where all you will stop. You mentioned about you want to know the weather, where you will stay, right? Okay. Anything else?
Any famous places while visiting?
Yeah, most definitely, right? It's a long journey from Cochin to Rishikesh. We want to see where all we can stop and see some famous places. Okay, all right. Yeah. Then?
Ma'am, food, dresses, medicines, and all those things that we require.
Absolutely. Food, dresses, medicines, because it's a long journey. Yeah. Then?
The famous foods of that each states?
All right. Okay. Famous food, what all you want to try. You're making a list of what all you want to try eating during this long journey.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then?
Budget, ma'am.
Budget, yes. It's 44 of us are going to Rishikesh, and budget, whether we have enough cash to go there, we need to collect all the resources, funding. We're going by road, so we're going in a vehicle. Anything else you would want to check?
If it might be a bus, so is it in a good way? Well, our bus should not get a breakdown at the place.
Yes. So you'll check the vehicle
In our journey.
you check the
In our
vehicle.
journey, Yeah.
Yes, the vehicle that's taking you there, you'll check on the maintenance records. Probably you'll see whether they have all their spare parts. They have a good driver. Do they have a substitute driver? You will look at fuel, right? You will look whether you have enough fuel to get you there. So imagine when we are taking a small, like we're just talking about a journey from here to Rishikesh. We're having so much of planning, right? We're talking about so much planning. So, but when we are charting our future, when we charting our life, do we get down to these basics? Do we sit and write down, oh, this is where I want to be, this is where I want to go, and these are the things that I will do to get there? Do we do that? Not often.
Not always.
Yes, not always, not at all, not always. So, this is the purpose of goal setting. This is the purpose of goal setting. If you want to achieve somewhere in your life, you need to have that roadmap to let you reach there. You need to have those pit stops. What are the milestones on the way to reach there? We spoke about fueling. We spoke about safety precautions. Those are things. Those are things you're checking. What is it going to make you conducive? What are the things that are conducive in you achieving that destination? Just like that. Just like reaching a place in life also. To get somewhere, goal setting is extremely important, and you need to chart out those different things that you need to do in your life to get to that final destination. Okay, so just to draw that analogy of life and importance of goal setting, I gave this example of us taking this road trip. So what is a goal? The goal is actually an oxygen to our dreams. Okay, it is an oxygen to our dreams. And this is another story, success story of an Olympian who was, I think he's a Hungarian person who was actually serving the army, and he injured his right hand by holding a grenade. He was holding onto a grenade where it blasted in his hand, and he damaged his right hand. But he went on to learning the skill of air pistol shooting, and went on to achieving, he was a 2-time gold champion at the Olympics, in spite of this adversity, in spite of something, we are always dependent on our right hand, So some of the key lessons from this person, from Karoli Takacs, was that stop blaming your circumstances, try with whatever you have, and your body does what your mind believes. Train your mind to believe that you are not, it is not affecting you, and it's not limiting you. Train your mind to believe that it is possible and achievable. And winners refuse to give up, refusing to say that I can't. Are some of the lessons to learn from Karoli Takacs. Now, many times we don't achieve our goals because all of us are very happy with our comfort zone. This happens with all of us, whether you're in your college life or your school life or even at workspace. Many times people don't emerge successfully or don't go that extra mile because they're always playing in the comfort zone. Oh, this is I don't want to wake up early and study and all. It's out of my comfort zone. You don't want to put that extra effort or step out of things that are out of your comfort zone. But you must realize that stepping out of your comfort zone, even if it makes you uncomfortable, that is where the magic happens. And that actually, this is something that has been very, very key in my life personally. I want to talk about things opportunities that have come to me where I have not said no, and which have helped me become successful in whatever path that I have chosen. Sometimes you may think, oh, this, you don't know how to do this. You're thinking, you're fearing the outcome. But when opportunities don't come often to us, opportunities don't come every day knocking on your door. It doesn't come. When it comes, take that opportunity, step out of your comfort zone. I remember, I have mentioned this in some of my talks in colleges and institutions, where actually I am an artist. Okay, my hobby is painting, and my subject area has been always science. I have never been an orator. I have never been a speaker in school, but college was a turning point. College was a turning point, and in one particular school intercollegiate cultural program, my professor asked me to speak on a debate competition, and I was petrified. I was so scared. I had never done speaking before. I was not an orator, and I told her, "No, ma'am, I'll take part in the painting competitions. I'm more familiar with that." And she said, "No, no, no. I know that you can do it, and we have one person who will speak for the topic, and you will speak against the topic." I was really scared, and I went on and did the competition. I still remember I stood in front of the audience and I completely froze. I panicked. I forgot all my lines. I totally, got panicked. But I saw my teacher sitting at the end of the stage or the end of the crowd, and she just nodded her head and told me to go on. I remember doing in that split second, picked up all my courage and fear and, everything. I felt so embarrassed, but I picked up all of that courage in me and the piece of paper and completely read out the points that I had planned to deliver. And doing that the first time, it was uncomfortable. It was out of my comfort zone. But what happened was I know what it felt like. I knew what it felt like by doing it, by just going there and standing in front of an audience, facing an audience. I knew what that fear felt like. And next time it felt so much easier. I went on doing these competitions after that very often in college. And I also, in my career span, I was a trainer, delivering speeches in front of large audiences. So that is a very, very important thing. Don't let things stop you. Try it, give it a try, and learn from those your fumbles or your mistakes, and try to step out of your comfort zone. See when you step out, that's where the magic happens. Now, again, this is in the area of working in our comfort zone. There are some things in the circle that we have no control on. Like, for example, today, the situation of the pandemic, we have no control about it, right? Likewise, wars, traffic jams, terrorism, shark attacks, a lot of other things, weather conditions, political moves. Those are all the things that we don't have, that are not in our control. But look at the inner circle, the circle that is going to influence and change you. The inner circle is in very, very much within our control. Learning, self-improvement, exercise, relationships, career growth, they are in your locus of control. And that is totally in your hands. There's no excuses for that. There's no excuse for that. You today, with the backdrop of the pandemic, you might think, oh, we are not able to step out. We can't learn. We can't do anything for self-improvement. I can't do exercise. I would say those are probably all excuses. There is so much of interesting change that has happened with this backdrop of the pandemic. The virtual platforms have boosted learning. I am personally attending so many seminars and learning in courses for improvement, not only for my professional space, even personal space. There are so many things that I have started learning. Rates of courses and certificate courses, programs have all been slashed down. So use this as an opportunity for growth. Take that extra mile, step out of your comfort zone, because all these things of learning, self-improvement, relationship building, your career growth, all this is very, very much well within your control and in your hands. So the importance of goal setting is, goals make you focus. They help you measure progress. When you write down things, avoid procrastination. Procrastination means delaying. So when you write things down, when you have a thing set and you say, okay, I want to achieve this by such and such a date, it helps you avoiding that procrastination or delay. Goals lock you in and avoid distraction, and goals motivate you. So this is something that you need to remember while goal setting. Some interesting things, there are different theories for goal setting. Even when you set your goals, it should be there's a way of setting your goals. You can't do everything under the sun. You need to trim down, and you need to select the critical few rather than the trivial many. There is Warren Buffett's goal strategy. He actually spoke, this strategy of Warren Buffett, it's called the 25-5, which speaks about the power of elimination. as important as your to-do list, equally important are your not to-do list. You should know where you should not be spending time and where you should be focusing time on. Warren Buffett was having a conversation with a person named Flint, and I think it was his pilot, if I'm not mistaken. And when they were having a conversation about success in life, so Warren Buffett told him, write down 25 goals of yours you want to achieve. So Flint wrote down 25 goals, and the next step was, Warren Buffett said, now circle the 5 most important in the 25. And he circled the 5, and he asked him, so what are you going to do with the rest? Flint said that I will focus on the 5, and when I get some free time, I will focus on the others. I will find time for the others. Warren Buffett corrected him and said, no, the fact that you circled 5 and left out the other 20 is that those are not at all to be done. They are things that not to be done at any cost. So don't give your focus there. Focus on the important ones, the critical ones, the primary priorities, and don't put your efforts in the secondary priorities. This Warren Buffett's 25-5 strategy talks about the power of elimination. Remove things, trim things that you do not need or which are unnecessary and which are eating time unnecessarily into your day-to-day. Focus on the key and the core things that are going to work for you. Now, this again is like, just an example to show, just like, a gardener will come and he will say, if the plant needs to grow well, he would, the first thing a gardener would do is he'll trim, even fresh buds also he will trim, right? That pruning is necessary for better growth. So similarly, like that, our goals also needs to be constantly, it needs to be updated. Remove things that are not necessary. You probably need to constantly update it to the current situation. So it's not something that you set and just keep it like that for the next couple of years. Review it occasionally and constantly, and remove things that are not working for you. Very, very important is when while having your goals, I would encourage all of you to do this right today. Today itself in your home. Maybe at the back of your cupboard, when you open the cupboard, at the back of it, try to create a vision board, or on your fridge or on your work table, somewhere where you can see it or where you're looking at it every day. Try to create a vision board for your goals. It need not always be like a chart or a table, but you can make it very visual. What is your inspiration? Where do you want to be? If you want to be a successful entrepreneur, put pictures of successful entrepreneurs who have been role models for you. Put positive affirmations. Make it very visual, and talk about things that will, maybe certificates or learnings that you will do to enable you to get there. Make it visual and make it something that you will see every day. And this will enable you, this will constantly fuel you into achieving your goals. All of you must have also, since you're all management students, I'm sure you must have, about this term, SMART, right? Your goals should be SMART. They should be specific, they should be measurable, they should be attainable, they should be relevant, and they should be time-based. Today, even when I'm in an organization, I work in the organization, the R&D lab, and when we are doing a lot of certification and accreditation programs for the laboratory, when we're working on the ISO standards and implementing these standards, when we set the objectives or the goals, these are very, very important. It's not the saying that, okay, if I've got, let's say recently we got the environmental certification for the lab, I cannot say I'm going to be doing a whole lot of things, right? It should be specific. What am I going to improve in the environment? Is it measurable? In the environment, if I'm going to make an improvement, how much difference? Put it in value. What is the difference, a quantum of difference that I'm going to make? Is it attainable? Question to be asked. Is it relevant and time-based? What is the timeline that I'm going to do to achieve that goal? This is extremely important while setting your goals. And this is a simple worksheet that you can do. I would encourage all of you to actually do the vision board today itself in your house, maybe in your notebook. If you have a scrapbook, I would suggest put it somewhere where you are seeing some place where you're looking at it every day. It could be the cupboard, it could be your work desk station or the refrigerator, wherever. Make a vision board of your goals, and what are the and positive affirmations, the things that you will learn to achieve that goal. This is a simple worksheet of setting your goals. Say your when is the start date, what your goal is, when you plan to complete it, what are the steps that I will take to reach my goal, what are the two things that will help me reach my goal, and then I will know I have reached my goal because, because of what. That will be your final statement. That is a positive affirmation. I know I will reach it. It's your conviction saying that I will reach my goal because of my strengths, and you should put that there. So I would encourage all the students to do both these things. Do the vision board as well as the simple goal setting worksheet today at your home. I come to the end of goal setting. I want to quickly run through, and I want to have a time for interaction. We have one more session. Manju, do we take a break, a 5-minute break, or shall I continue with the session?
If you need a break, you can take 5 minutes break. I think that you also need to drink some water, isn't it?
Yeah. Okay, we'll take a 5-minute break, and then we'll get back to emotional intelligence. Yeah, thanks.
Sure, please.
Can we start or?
Yeah, ma'am. Please.
Okay. Yes. So we will move on to the next topic, which is emotional intelligence. Yes. Now, just like how I started with, am I audible?
Yes, ma'am. You're audible.
Okay. Okay. Just like how I started with a question in during our goal setting, I asked a question about what you think is success, and here I want to ask similarly with respect to emotional intelligence. I want to start out with a question of what is life? What is the meaning of life to all of you? What is the meaning of life? Again, I want a few responses from the group. What is the meaning of life to y'all?
There should be a purpose.
Okay. Okay. There should be a purpose in life. Okay. What is life mean to you? Or what is the definition you think? What does it mean to you?
For me, happiness.
For you, happiness. Okay. Meaning of life. Anybody else?
Yeah, one comment is survival.
Yes. Okay. Survival. Live the way we want. Okay. Live the way we want.
Be happy and make
Also,
others happy.
Yeah, I would think live the way we want would be, you mean freedom, right? Freedom to do what you want, to exercise your choices, be happy and make others happy. Interesting. Very nice. Interesting. Two more responses I'll take. Mary, Tanya.
Yes, ma'am. I was thinking some other definition that I could give for life. I
Okay.
didn't get anything.
Okay. So, all right. Okay. So let me just go carry on. Each of you, again, just like how we had the definition or the meaning of success, all of you had different thoughts. Each of us have different ideas and thoughts about success. Similarly, for life also, the meaning to each one of us is very different. Like the famous scholar, Greek scholar Plato, he says that life is the highest form of knowledge for him. Since he's a scholar, his definition of life is that. For some of you, I saw that being happy, doing what you want to do. The famous phrase that says Hakuna Matata, no worries in the world, right? You want to be having a blissful life, peaceful life, like a baby. For some people, life may be a full circle moment, something that, is complete. It's going through a full circle moment. Most importantly, actually, every day when all of us, every day, every waking hour, when we just get up, that is life. The process of just waking up is life. Life is an opportunity. That moment of us just having that, the feeling of waking up shows that life is actually an opportunity for us, each one of us. And it is very important how we view this, how much time we have in life. Am I serious to live my life? Am I satisfied with who I am and what I am? Am I serious about improving myself? And is there any way to be successful in life? Those are the questions that we should ask, because life every day to us is giving us an opportunity for growth and improvement and for, attaining everything we want to be successful in life. When we speak about life management, it comes on two things. You know, you're managing your body. You have to manage your body, most important. If you want to live a healthy life, if you want to live a happy life, you have to take care of your body, your health. Especially now, you know, this situation, all of us are scrambling for immunity boosting things, right? Because we want to take care, we want to go through this or thrive through this, and we need to take care of our body. Is body alone enough in life management? Absolutely not. We also need to look after our mind. And when we speak about mind, again, there are two aspects of the mind. One is the intellect, you know, all your skills, your IQ, your strengths, all that is going to help you, your achievements, all that contribute to your intellectual side of the mind. Very, very important, equally important is that alone is not going to get you successful or, in life. It is also going to be a lot on your emotional quotient, your emotional intelligence in life is very, very important. Like, the slides shows about IQ and EQ. Both are important. And today, I would not say here, we've just mentioned about emotions at interviews, emotions at workplace. Emotional intelligence is actually a very, very important topic. I do workshops on this on a whole full day workshop, and we are actually doing this at a very crisp level, a short level, but we'll be covering most important aspects or key aspects of emotional intelligence. I would say today it is a skill that is to be mastered for your personal as well as your professional life, and it is a very, very intrinsic and a very necessary quality for being a leader. To be a leader, for improving your leadership skills, a very, very key aspect is your emotional intelligence. Okay, Daniel Goleman is the author of a lot of books on emotional intelligence, and he defines EI as the ability to recognize our own feelings and those of others for motivating ourselves and for managing emotions well in ourselves and in our relationships. So that is what emotional intelligence is about. It is the capability of recognizing our own feelings. If we don't know our emotions, if we don't know how we are reacting to situations, how will we manage ourselves? And how will we use that for good? How will we use that for motivating ourselves and for the managing the emotions in others and in the relationships that we have in our life? So emotional intelligence is defined as this by Daniel Goleman, who is the famous author on a lot of books on emotional intelligence. Now, it is the ability to manage and use your emotions in a positive and a constructive way. What it can do, how it can benefit you, it can enables you to draw people towards you. It enables you in conflict situations, overcoming differences, repairing wounded feelings between people or even your own self. It helps you in diffusing tension. Emotional intelligence is very, very closely related to stress. It helps you in diffusing tension and stress. And it is a key, like I mentioned earlier, it is very, very key leadership skill that one needs to possess. When you're managing, whether it is you're managing a small group of 4 people or 10 people, or you're managing an industry, you're an owner of a firm or a factory manager or an owner, when you're managing hundreds of people, emotional intelligence is extremely, extremely important as a leadership skill to possess. Now, what we will be learning in the session on, when we're talking about the campus to career programs, in some of the modules, we're looking at, we saw goal setting, we saw success, we'll be seeing soon, the next upcoming sessions will be on personal branding, interviews. Now, these are skills that will equip you to get your job. They will help you to get your job. Now, what is going to help you sustain your job? What is going to help you grow in your job, or keep you in your job, sustain you in your job? And that is going to be your level of emotional intelligence. Intelligence alone will not help you in the work environment. Your technical skills alone will not help you. You will need to learn, because wherever you're dealing with people, we're talking about emotions there. So mastering the art of emotional intelligence is very, very key, both in our personal as well as our professional lives. Now, what will prepare you for success at workplace? These are the attitudes and attributes that most of them look for from people in a work environment. most importantly, obviously, is your skill, your knowledge, your skill sets, your ideas. Are you open to ideas? What are your thoughts? Are you willing to learn? Are you flexible? Your speed, your adaptability, and your deal with changes. These are some things that are attributes and attitudes that will prepare you for success at the workplace. Emotional intelligence actually comprises of these four main components. Okay, four main components. The first one is self-awareness. Self-awareness, a consciousness of the ability to choose. All of us have emotions. It is being aware of the emotions that we have. I will speak about each of these in the later slides. The second one is, once you are aware of your emotions and your feelings, the next is, how do you manage them? How are you managing your thoughts and feelings and behavior? How are you managing your emotions? Next, the third stage is social awareness. You're aware of yourself. You're aware of how, then you apply managing yourself. Next is, we're talking about, interactions with others. So social awareness. How do people behave? What are other people's perceptions? Understanding others. Organizational and community awareness. That comes under social awareness. And the fourth component of emotional intelligence is the relationship management. Once you are aware of the feelings of others, how are we strengthening the relationships between people? What it can do, it can influence, it can help in conflict management, and very, very important. Today, success cannot be attributed only to yourself. Please remember, success cannot be attributed only to yourself. Whether you're on your job, as me, as a new product person, development person, being in the space of innovation, a lot of cross-functional teams are supporting me in my goal in achieving my dream, right? I'm working with a lot of others who are enabling me, who are collaborating me, who are cooperating with me to enable to achieve that goal and dream of mine. So remember, relationship management is also it's a key component of emotional intelligence. These are the four things that you'll have to remember in emotional intelligence. First is self-awareness. Then next comes your managing your emotions and feelings and behavior. Third one is others, understanding how people are behaving, people's emotions, and what is making them behave in a way that they are. And the fourth one is building relationship management. These are the four pillars or essential components of emotional intelligence. Now, self-awareness is basically knowing emotions, what that we are feeling. You can probably do a small homework at home. You can try and think about adjectives that best describe you. You can see, I probably list down as many number of words or adjectives that describe you. Are you like happy, cheerful, lively, bubbly, sad, scared, tensed, weak, strong? You write down all the adjectives that describe you. Maybe take it on a white piece of paper and write down as many adjectives or words that describe you. And you will realize that you will see there are a lot of words that will be common, okay, that will show your personality. Maybe it is in the area of being happy and cheerful and confident. Maybe it's in the fear. Maybe words like overthinking, stress, anger. Those things may be commonly occurring, and then maybe it will give you a pattern as to what your emotions are and how it is translating into behavior. It's very, very important before we correct ourselves or before we know what is going on, before we know why we are behaving in a particular way, it's very, very important to know what we are feeling, what is contributing to that behavior, what are the emotions, what are the feelings that we are having that's contributing to that particular behavior. So listing down these adjectives of everything that describes you, and then you will start realizing a pattern, things, common words that are coming up. And if you're looking at words like stress, anxiety, hostility, sadness, anger, then I would say self-awareness is like that smoke alarm. These words should it should act like a smoke alarm that, oh, I need to act on these right now. I need to act on how to control these emotions so that they don't spiral and outburst into something. Because what happens when all this build up, it affects you, and it affects you, lash it out on people around you. It affects your work, it affects your productivity, it affects relations. So very, very important is when you start seeing words like this, immediately start acting on them. Why am I behaving this way? What is contributing to this? What can I change for me not to behave this way? Next comes self-management. Like I said, once you identify your emotions, now you need to regulate your emotions as per the situation. Now, many times, whether it is an office situation or, at sometimes you can even take a situation with your friends or at home, what happens? There is a stimulus, something that is causing a situation, a stimulus is there. And what happens? People mostly respond. You come immediately with your response. Now, that is reactive behavior. But emotionally intelligent behavior is, there is a stimulus, you're pausing, you're selecting the right emotion, and then you're responding. That is emotionally intelligent behavior, where you're not immediately reacting, you're selecting, you're thinking in your mind, okay, what emotion should I use at this particular situation, and then give your response. That is an emotionally intelligent response behavior. Now, when this impairing of this reasoning happens, why it happens is because sometimes most often people who have had some negative childhood experiences or who have built up stress, so much stress they have built up, that's when your reasoning in your mind becomes impaired. You're not able to use the right, or you're not able to think and decide which emotion I should use for this particular situation. That reasoning is affected because of certain things like maybe negative childhood experiences, or a stress that is built up so much. At that time, you need to talk to someone. You need to work on these things in order to, correct yourself and deal with situations, before reacting, thinking about what emotion you should use to respond. Now, the next, I spoke about the third pillar, which is the social awareness. Now, this is very, very, again, since I'm saying emotional intelligence is important as a leader, very important is, understanding your team's communication. Not always people are speaking and communicating. You will see that even amongst your peers, amongst your friends, right? In a situation at home, not always people are vocal in saying what they feel and what they think. Right? Many times it is the non-verbal cues. So many times as parents, as teachers, and even I think as bosses at work, we miss those cues. Somebody would have been showing signs of that they are hurt, that they are angry, that they are sad, that something is going on in their mind, and we would have failed to look at these, which will result in a negative situation. So very, very important in social awareness when we are managing others is trying to understand the non-verbal communication. You would have probably had sessions on this in your school or college on body language. Note down when people are saying something, not by words, even by expressing themselves in thought or by expressions. Pick up those non-verbal cues and try to be aware of them and see how you can work through the situation with that. The fourth component of emotional intelligence is relationship management. For relationship management, one of the key things is developing empathy. Empathy means kindness, helping others. I saw one of you write that in your meaning of life, or one of you said that response. It's very, very important to have this skill, especially at a time that we are in today. Empathy, kindness is a much, much needed skill. Understanding others, it is very, very important for us to look. We are so diverse in our thought, in our in language, not just I wouldn't say even within the country, even in your home, right? Or your family itself must be having different opinions and thoughts and behaviors, right? We are so diverse. So understanding other people's perspectives or perceptions, developing empathy, helping others is a very, very needed quality in having emotional intelligence. How you can improve this, how you can improve empathy, there are certain ways tips by which you can improve empathy. Playing with children, reflecting on your mother's behavior, think about how your mother's behavior, acts of gardening, animals rescue, saving, being good listener, serving the poor and needy, gratitude, having gratitude in life, freely expressing your emotions and words and expressions, not bottling it up, freely expressing them in words and expressions. These are some ways by which you can improve your relationship management and develop your empathy, kindness skill. This is extremely important today as a leader. I'm not going to take any names or mention any political names here, but you as all of you must be witnessing a lot of people who are missing the skill of empathy, right? Who are leaders, political leaders, or leading large nations or conglomerates, just missing this trait of empathy, and how much distress it is causing to the nation or the organization or the area or environment around them. Today, the millennial manager, I would say the millennial manager today, his role is very in a factory environment or a corporate environment. Apart from his technical skills and knowledge skills, it's very important that he knows how to resolve conflicts, work as a team, inspire and influence people, motivate people, because ultimately, like I told before, this journey to success is not just one person. It's not just with you. It's you're taking people along with you. You're inspiring people along with you. Others are helping you in achieve your dream in some way or the other. Someone is impacting you in achieving your dream. So relationship management and inspiring, influencing, motivating, all that are very important in today's millennial managerial role. So some of the ways where you can emotionally, express yourself is express rightly, right time to the right people. Don't bottle it up. Be free in your expressions. Be passionate. Build rapport with your team. Give feedback to your colleagues. Trust your feeling, and you should be to your reality. And also look at other people's perception. Try to think. There's a saying by which you have a bubble of thought, and another person in front of you, B, let's say you're A and somebody else, B, who's having another bubble of thought. But just imagine if both of you come together, both your bubbles meet at a point, there is a middle ground that appears, a common middle ground that appears. If you are starting to see things from his perspective also, and he is starting to see things from your perspective also, you are able to achieve a common middle ground. So that's very important. That's one of very important aspect of emotional intelligence, is to look at things from other person's perspective as well as your own. So yeah, this is the same thing which I spoke about emotional intelligence, how emotionally intelligent people, people with emotional intelligence are clear about their life purpose and values. They cultivate self-awareness. They focus on the positive. They keep good company and encourage others. They're stress resilient. They don't let things, emotions or feelings take over their behavior and take over their body and mind. They're stress resilient. They know how to handle conflicts in an effective way. And they are great listeners. And most importantly, they show empathy. These are the features of a person with a good or a high emotional intelligent quotient. How it benefits you, how emotional intelligence is going to benefit you. An emotional intelligent person tends to be better performers. Their constructive relationships at work and in teams. They manage stress effectively, and they are effective communicators. These are key attributes apart from your technical and your knowledge skills. I would say it's equally or probably a little more important in today's current scenario that one would need to have and possess. Yes. So we come to the end of the 2 modules that we had for today. I think we have a few 15 to 20 minutes for interaction. If anybody has any questions or would like to interact or say something, please feel free to do so.
Thank you very much, Shivpriya. It's a wonderful section, and emotional intelligence you beautifully narrated in a very soft voice, and it was like it's a pretty lengthy subject, but in 30 minutes you wrap up the entire thing in a very capsule form and presented in front of the students. So it's a time for interaction. I hope that the students might have many of you people almost their placement programs are already started, and also companies started coming also. So
Okay.
when you have many doubts and many things in their mind, so it's a platform in which you can talk. If you're not talking at this moment of time, actually it will what we call it will cost you a lot. So come talk and interact. Okay, so this Shivapriya ma'am, as you know, you have read the her profile, so you know that she had a very great and experiences, and she loved to share with those the experience with you. So your doubts, it's like a you can throw means with her experience she can mitigate many of your doubts. Okay, please.
Any of you would like to share any instances, anything? You can feel free to, not just doubts or queries, even if you want to share some instances, feel free to do so. Any doubts you have while entering corporate world? Many of you, Manju mentioned that you're entering placements. Is there anything that you want to know specifically with recruiting and what recruiters are looking for? Feel free to ask me anything.
Yes, ma'am. We would like to know about the. Hello? Is it
Yes,
audible?
yes, you're audible.
We would like to know about what does recruiters want in us? What they look in.
Okay. So I'll tell you. So when you are attending an interview, or maybe when they're first selecting, what are the first guidelines of selection is we look at, the first one is your resume, right? We look at your resume, we look at what your scores are, we look what a performer you are, whether you have whether you do any other extracurricular activities. That's the first thing that we look at your resume. And the resume it says a lot of things, but we don't know for a fact if they are true or if they truly speak about you. And then comes the opportunity of interacting with you in an interview. Now, again, in an interview, how much time do we have? We have 5 minutes or maximum 10 minutes. Today, your interviews are going to be handled virtually. So very, very little time. In that 5 minutes, you've got to make an impression with your recruiter, right? So I would say many times I have chosen people. I have put technical skill is important. I will say it. I give weightage for that. But attitude is very, very important. There have been people with such a bad or a negative attitude that have literally, like, they've killed their chances of entering in or getting hired, even if they have got good scores and even they've got high scores. So attitude is something that will be very, very important when you're facing an interview, and what a person is looking for, because he doesn't know for sure whether your knowledge skills are there. Because in that 5 minute of interaction, he can't check all these things. There's no way of assessing all these things. So in that 5 second, it's about your presentation skill, how you're presenting yourself, your confidence, your willingness to learn. I am willing to learn. I don't know this, but I am willing to take this responsibility. I'm willing to learn this. Those are some of the things that a recruiter will be impressed with. That answers your question?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah.
Ma'am, the first topic, the students are not asking questions, so let me ask questions.
Yeah. Yes, Manju.
Yeah. The first part is about goal setting, isn't it? Actually,
Yes.
it is one of the most important area for a student's life, isn't it?
Yes,
But
yes.
can you share your experience, your life experience, because you are a rank holder also,
Yes.
isn't it? So,
Yes.
can you share from your life experience? You can share the importance of this goal setting, isn't it, ma'am?
Yes, absolutely. I think it is very, very important. I mean, you have to have whatever space of life you are. I mean, whether it is your work environment or whether it is your personal life, You have to have an aspiration of what you want to. I was very clear as to I wanted to make a mark in the field of R&D, in the field of research. I wanted to make contributions there. So I had this whole things set out for me, mapped out for me, that this was what I see myself in the coming years, and these are the certificates that I will take to upgrade my skills to achieve that place. So there's a lot of things, that steps on the way that I personally took. This goal setting was very, very what played a very important part in my role in my career growth. Right from college, when I passed out of my postgraduate, when I finished my postgraduate, I was clear. I had two options. I was given the option of working in a hospital industry, medical industry, and there was the option of working in a food industry. But my dream and passion was always to contribute in the space of food and nutrition. And I still have dreams. It's not that I've finished. I still have things that I have written down that I want to do for myself personally, and for the contribution of food and nutrition for the society. I have some goals still that are to be achieved.
Wonderful, ma'am. I think that many of the students, actually, they have many dreams. Actually, they're not. Many don't know how to put the effort or streamline their effort. Okay, so what happened is that in later time, many will compromise with their dreams, or what we call the goals. So
Yes.
it's a wonderful means from the expert or a person like you. If you are so focused on your dreams, chase your dreams. That's a wonderful message you are giving to the students,
Yeah.
ma'am.
Yes, thank you, Manju. And there's one thing that I wanted to talk about. See, if I passed out my post graduation in 1995, okay. So now, is the other topics, are the trends the same as 1995? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. Trends are changing. There are new innovations happening. I have to keep abreast with what is happening, the technologies that are changing, what is the information that is changing. Every day, I just want to share something that I do. 10 minutes of my time at work, I spend in reading newsletters in food journals and food industry newsletters. 10 minutes I spend on learning the current trends, because industries, the knowledge keeps changing, advancements have happened, lot of changes have happened since I last studied. I need to keep be informed of what is happening today. And that process of that, all of you need to have that thing of continuous learning. It's not that I learned and I know everything and I'm closing my books, I'm not going to learn anymore. That won't work. You need to be open to learning, continuous learning for improvement. That should be there.
Ma'am, can you say something that would increase self-confidence? Like to self-motivate us, that to give us a confidence that that I'll be able to do this thing and achieve my goals or something like that.
Okay. Again, I'll speak from my personal journey, okay, because it'll be easier for me to convey what I did to become confident or to be self-confident. Look, have role models. Have role models. Role models can be anybody. It can be your teachers, it can be celebrities, it can be authors. Have role models around you where you can look at them, you can see attributes of them, and they will help you in you'll think, oh, that's something that I like, that's something that I would also like to possess and I would like to do. Learn from them. That is one thing. And then the next thing I would say is what I mentioned in the presentation: stepping out of your comfort zone. Take go that extra mile. Don't limit yourself, and don't be scared. It may seem scary to do something totally new, to do something that you don't know how to do. It will definitely seem scary, but take that chance. When you're given an opportunity to, I would say even now, this right now, when Manju ma'am was telling you all to speak, it is an opportunity that you should take. I would definitely say this is a place where you're stepping out of your comfort zone. And I would say probably you should put on your video and come and face and ask questions and talk. This is stepping out of your comfort zone.
Ma'am, a few years back when I was a little more younger, I was more confident, and I would whatever I wanted to ask, I would just go and ask, And once when I went to a beach, there was a foreigner.
Okay.
And I wanted to take a photo with her, and I just asked her, and we just took a photo. The
Okay.
thing is that I had a thought in my mind, and I just reacted. I took the action. But now when I became bigger, I'm little more nervous, a bit more afraid, not that confident. That is the thing that I really asked you, that what should I do to increase my confidence and all those things.
Mary,
Because-
I want to tell you something. You asked, I think you spoke on 3 or 4 occasions today. Okay, I don't think you've lost your confidence. It's there. It is there.
Thank you.
Okay, so something is limiting you to, you are just limiting that it's a thought that is limiting you, saying that you are not. Work on that.
Yeah.
You have it. You have asked me 4, you have interacted 4, I know your name now. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
So-
I was really amazed. I was really amazed that you said my name, Mary Tania, that to speak something. So I really liked it that you noticed me and you wanted me to speak something, and it was really very good.
So that is saying something about you. You're not. It's not that you don't have confidence. You have it in you, but there is something that's limiting you. You need to understand why is it that you're having that feeling of limiting yourself. It's just a thought, and it can easily be handled. I would say do the same thing. Look at people, look at people around you, learn from them. Try doing new things. New tasks that will help you gain confidence. And I also would encourage all of you to do a lot of reading. Do a lot of reading. Inspirational books. Today, all of you are actually, I would say, so lucky. At my time, we didn't have sessions like this. Nobody came and spoke to us and guided us and told us what to do when we finished college. Nothing like that. No, and we didn't have. Today, you can interact with your role models on Instagram, on Facebook. You can directly ask them a question. You can look at their lives. They're sharing their videos and stories and life lessons. We didn't have this sort of privilege. Use all these things very positively. Okay? Your role models are live and they're in front of you and interacting with you almost face to face. Use all these as opportunities of learning and self-improvement.
Okay.
Can you the book name of author's name? Hello?
Yes.
And can you suggest me a author's name which will help me out to read it?
On which particular, on what do you want to know about?
About food, the best authors, books and all.
Okay. I'm not able to think right now anything, what is your name? I will send a chat to Manju ma'am, okay? Suggesting some of the good reads that I have read. One that I had mentioned in the during the session, this last lecture by Randy Posh. That is an interesting, very, very interesting book. It's a person he's a lecturer, he's a college professor at Dale Carnegie University, and he died of pancreatic cancer. And his speech you can even watch that lecture on YouTube. That is very inspirational. It's not the only book. I have a couple of others. I'm just not able to think of anything, but I will pass it on to Manju ma'am to give it to you.
Yes, yeah, sure, ma'am. It will be a great help for me.
Sure, I'll do that.
Tamanna, you have to introduce yourself also, okay? You have to say, these students, they log in from their official mail ID. So they have a number only, they don't have names.
Yeah, what is your name?
My name is Tamanna.
Tamanna. Okay.
And I have done my undergraduation in food processing and technology.
Okay, food processing and technology.
Yeah,
okay,
yeah.
That's good. So what are you doing with business administration?
I can be a hotel restaurants, and my family business is a restaurants.
Very nice, very nice. Good. Okay, all right. Good.
And
Ma'am, I have a
food safety officer is my passion.
Good. That's good. So that should be your, you should put your goal as that.
Yeah,
And
ma'am.
what are your steps to achieve that goal? Okay.
Yeah, ma'am. Sure.
Yeah. All of you do that vision board. It's very simple, but do that. Even in my office today, there are a lot of visual charts. There are quotes. There are things that I have to do at such and such a time. Make it visual. When you make it visual, you will end up doing it.
Sure, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes. You're welcome.
Ma'am, my name is Janisha, and I have a question. What are the expectations from a fresher during this COVID pandemic period? As you have already said that life is an opportunity. So, seeing this period as an opportunity, what are the expectations that you people are expecting from us?
Okay. Okay. Now, with respect to your question and with the situation also of the pandemic, you must realize that hiring is something that is happening and it is also not happening. Okay. So I would suggest, like, don't think that people are not hiring. It is also happening, but a situation is also where people are cutting down on a lot of things, that they're taking extra staff. They're not taking. So again, here the competition is much more stiffer, I would say. Again, there is a narrowing down of people, because you need to show that you're really really good in a very, very short positive time, and your interviews will be handled virtually. So I would say that same thing that I said earlier. You have to show that you are positive, that you're willing to learn, that you're flexible, that you're willing to take on opportunities. Be confident in your speech. Don't be overconfident as well. Don't say that you know everything and you're overconfident. Be open and willing to learn. Show your flexibility. Show your positive attitude. Those are some things that I would advise for you right now. And please look at, all of you, today again you have LinkedIn showing you who are the people who are hiring. This also is very, very important. Don't be so frantic that you just want a job somewhere. That again is not good. That's not nice. Like, it'll be affecting your goal, I would say. Like Tamanna said, she wanted to be a food safety officer. Like that, where do you see yourself? Which industry do you see yourself? That is very, very important. Because what happens if you don't realize that, you'll end up in some job where you don't like, you're not performing, you don't like the job. Look at where you would like to see yourself, which industry is what is suited for you, or where you want to see yourself work in, and then look at the people who are hiring, and then follow what I was telling you. When you face interviews, show your keenness and willingness to learn. Be positive, be confident in your interview. Those are the things that I would advise.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you.
Welcome. The gentleman, I want some responses from gentlemen. one more response, and I think we can wind up. None of them are there in the group now.
Hopefully. No. Is there anyone responding?
Or they can even ask a question. In the chat is also fine.
105. So 1605. So
it's okay, no problem. It's fine. Yeah.
Aslam, you want to say something? Aslam. Aslam? No. Muted. Okay. Aslam, you want to ask something? I think his mic is bug.
Okay. No problem.
Yeah. Okay. So now we are going to the end of the session. So I would like, is Freeni there? Freeni? Who is in charge of delivering the vote of thanks? Actually, I am also messed up with these numbers.
Ma'am, I was Peter.
Okay, Peter. You actually
I
you
think I heard some.
the task, isn't it? Am I right?
Okay, ma'am. Yes,
Peter.
ma'am.
Yeah. Please.
A warm good afternoon to one and all present here. I deem it's a great honor and privilege for me to propose
Who
the
is
vote of thanks
who is
on this memorable occasion. Let me first of all start by giving glory to the God Almighty for making today's occasion a resounding success. First and foremost, I thank our special guest, Ms. Shivapriya Balagopal, Head New Product Development, R&D Division, Eastern Condiments Private Limited, who despite her busy schedule has found time to give us a great talk on goal setting and emotional intelligence. Thank you, ma'am, on behalf of Alberton Institute of Management.
Thank you.
I thank our Dean, Dr. Georgios Fernandez, for his words of encouragement, who is always there to support and motivate us. I also use this opportunity to express my gratitude to Ms. Manju Das and Dr. Jitin Benedict for taking all effort to make the program a success. I also extend my heartfelt thanks to all the faculties of Alberton Institute of Management and Placement Core team for their support and coordination. Last but not least, I thank all my friends and one and all present here for their active participation. Once again, I thank everyone for making this program success. Thank you.
Thank you, Peter. Thank you, ma'am, for your valuable time spending with us. Actually, it is a
Thank you so much.
it's very informative, as well as those who keenly listen to that and try to adapt it in their life. They are going to benefit a lot from that, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you for
Thank
the
you so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity and nice meeting all of you. See you. Thank you.
And one more thing, this is a 4 talk series sessions, which is coming in on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Okay. Thank you very much. The time and other details will be informed to you later by the placement team. Okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
None of them really fixed the issue that I had, but they talked about the output levels and the bit rate, and you're pretty my standards my settings are pretty standard here, but over here in the advanced settings, I found out that there was an option under